comfortable with that? Writing out numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know these are the thousands, right? So let me just change
When we write it out, do we have to add a comma?
that. Not really.
Okay.
That comma is that?
Yeah, like do you write it in the?
No, that's just to differentiate this one from
Yeah,
thousands.
but okay. So I know that.
Because sometimes you have a dot over here, so that would be a decimal point.
No, but I mean like when you write it out in words, you just write it out with no comma? Okay.
It's not meant to do. Alright, so that would be, this one's nice and simple. Oh, you're in the way? Alright, so that would be. Right, the comma is just going to tell you that these numbers are the thousands, right? So you just write 63,000, and then you just have 203.
She said that we don't use and unless it's a decimal.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but whatever,
Just
yeah, we
put
get
it
the
on.
gist, we get the gist.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's multiple choice
Oh,
anyway.
okay, so you can just match it up, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, that one's nice and simple.
See where it sits down.
Go to the other side. Alright. Subtraction, right.
Let's see, what is it?
I don't know.
I have two copies and I pulled away one. I don't know why I did that. I have two copies of this.
Alright, so we're supposed to write that number out. Alright, so that would be 320,000, right? We know that the thousand is going to tell us where the comma goes, which is in there, and then we just have a 41, right? We know that we're supposed to have 3 units in here, so if we have a 41, we just put a 0 here and write the 41 in there, right? Okay. Alright, we're supposed to let it up. How will you do that?
You put down the hundreds on the, you line them up.
Right, one on top of each other, right? So the process would be, if you have 1,000, it would be 8,257. Then you have 392, and then you have a 459, right? That's an addition. So we're just gonna add them individually each row, right? So we have 7 plus 2, that would be 9, 9 plus 9 would be 18. So we carry 1 in there. 1 plus 5 would be 6, plus 9 would be 15, and 15 plus 5 would be 20. We carry a 2. 2 plus 2 would be 4. 4 plus 3 would be 7. 7 plus 4 would be 11. Carry 1. That's where the comma goes. And 1 plus 8 would be 9. So that would be your final answer. 9,108. Okay. Maybe we can do 4 over here. the same way, right? You're supposed to line them up, one on top of each other. So we will have 71,034, and then we have 19,867. Okay. Alright, what happens when this number is smaller than that?
Is the borrow?
You have to borrow one from the other one. This one actually would be a 14, right? If you borrow one, so that would be 14 minus 7. It's just 7. This one is no longer a 3. That would be a 2. Once again, 2 minus 6, you can't do that, so you go again, borrow one from here. Right, so that would be a 12. Minus 6. 6. That one's supposed to be a 10, right? But we borrow one, that's 9. 9 minus 8. 1, comma. That is no longer a 11, that one's a 10, so 10 minus 9. 1, that one was a 6, right? We borrow 1, so that would just be 6 minus 1, 5. There you go. If you're not sure about your answer, you can always add it up from here to here, and you should get it there, right? Now you get it like that. Alright. Fractions. How do you add fractions?
To add, they have to have the same denominator, you have to find it.
So you have to find the LCD between these two, right? If you have a 5 and you have a 9, what do you think is the LCD?
You multiply them with each other.
Right, you can multiply them with each other. So I'm just gonna rewrite it. We have that. We're supposed to add it up. And like you said, we're supposed to multiply it by each other, right?
Yeah.
Top and bottom.
Top
So
and
this
bottom.
one would be, right? Multiply it with that. And this one times 5, right? Alright, so we have 9 times 4 would be,
That's it, 20. I haven't done it multiple.
Me, I don't even know my multiplication tables. I have a question though, I'm sure I know this, I forgot. So if they don't go into each other, you can always multiply the denominators to find the LCD?
Right.
Oh, okay.
right. Like if, let's say if this was a 10, right, you would say that 10 would be the LCD. If it
Yeah,
was 5,
because it
you
would
say
go
10.
into it.
Right, but if they don't go into each other, that's when you multiply
Okay.
by each other. Alright, so that's what we multiply 9 over 9,
Yeah.
5 over 5, 9 times 4 would be 36. And on top of that, or on the bottom of that would be
45.
45 plus
10.
10
45.
over 45. We have now the same LCD, therefore we can add the numerators, right? Which would be,
46 or 45.
there you go, and that would be the final answer. Alright, if you can
Excuse me.
simplify that, you should.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you please, I'm sorry, repeat that from the
Oh.
beginning, please?
From here?
Yes.
Alright, we're adding fractions, right?
Okay.
One thing that you have to remember about that is that in order to add them, you have to have the same LCD. In this case, you have one of the denominators is 5, the other one is 9. You will have to multiply this fraction times 9 over 9, and this one times 5 over 5 because neither 5 goes into 9 or 9 goes into 5, right? So you multiply top and bottom by 9. 9 times 4 would be 36. 9 times 5 would be 45. We have an addition plus 2 times 5 would be 10, and 9 times 5 would be 45. Now you have the same LCD, right?
Okay.
So you can just add the numerators. 36 plus 10 would be 46. So you have 46 over 45.
Okay.
Good? Alright.
I don't see how to
Alright. This one, there are many different ways of solving that. How did your professor teach it to you?
This one, you have to do this and find the common denominator.
What about the whole numbers?
Put it aside,
You add them.
Right.
put them in columns.
Okay, you can do it like that. That's one way of doing it. So you will just have, let's say, this 6 plus us 2, right? That would be 8. Alright, so we'll have 6 plus 2 Then we have the fractions, right? We will have 1/7 plus 3/4. Alright, same scenario as that one.
Yes.
We have to have the same LCD. What's the LCD for those two?
It's 7 times 4, 4 times 7.
Right, so this will be times 7/7, and this one will be times 4/4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do that. 4 times 1 is obviously just 4. 4, that will be 28. Okay, plus. Huh? 3 times 7 will be 21. And then we have a 28 again, right? Alright, now we have, we try to see
You
what
have 8.
we have 25, right, on top, over 28. Can you simplify that?
No, you have 8 in front.
Right, no, that's just for the fractions,
Oh, okay.
right? Now we have to remember that we also have this 8,
Yeah.
right? So we have big 8, and then we have the,
25 over.
there you go. And that would be the answer. You get it? Alright. So can you raise this thing, right? Alright.
I can fix it too.
Yes.
Or maybe email it. Let me see, what is your email address?
Let me write it down.
Alright. So we have the same scenario over here, right? We have two fractions, we're subtracting, so we're supposed to have the same LCD again. Alright, so I'm just gonna rewrite the fractions. And we're supposed to multiply the first fraction times, and it's 3/3. Right? And the second one times 7%. Alright, so we have 3 times 6 would be,
What else?
21.
40.
Wait, what are we doing?
Three
Oh,
times
3 times 6.
Eight.
Yeah.
over 21.
Yeah.
The 1 and 7, so 3 is 7, over 21, we have the same LCD, and we just have to do the subtraction of 18 minus 7. There you go, that would be your final answer. Alright, the other one, you can do 9 minus 4 once again. What's the problem? That you guys have 1 over 12.
This one is smaller.
Right, this one is smaller than that one. So what you want to do is try to change it to this kind of fractions, right? Those are mixed fractions. You want to change to proper fractions? Alright, so how do you do that?
Or you could do it with borrowing.
Huh?
Or you could do it with
Are
borrowing.
you
right?
guys comfortable with that?
Borrow with borrowing, yeah.
Comfortable? Alright. So we can do that. 9 minus 4 would just be 5, right? That would be for the whole number. And then we have 1 over 12 minus 1 over 3, right?
Don't we do the borrowing first? I think
Yeah,
we do the
You wanna do
borrowing
the
first.
borrowing first?
Yeah, because then,
That's the way I would do it.
This one?
Yeah, that way.
yeah, but then if you're borrowing, I don't know which number, well, I guess it wouldn't matter, would it? If I like.
There are many different
Yeah,
ways, right?
yeah.
The way that I was told would be changing it to proper fraction.
Yeah.
You guys have another.
When you're done, do it their way and then do it that way.
Okay, this is their way. So you were saying that,
I would just do the 9 minus 4 at the end, because what if I had to borrow from the 9? But it wouldn't matter, because then you just borrow from the 4.
you just
right?
have to read, yeah.
In
you
the
just-
5,
yeah,
so
you
yeah,
just have
just
to
keep
read.
going, yeah.
Alright, so we have the 1 over, the minus 1/3, same thing, we have to have the same LCD. What's the LCD in this case?
Was it 12? No?
12.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
you're
it's
gonna
the higher number, correct?
Huh?
Go with the higher number?
No.
Well, if
3
this one
goes
goes
into
into that
12,
one,
it's
then that would be the
in
LCD.
Yeah.
We have a different case over here, see, 9 is the bigger number, right?
Mm-hmm.
But 5 doesn't go into 9.
No, it doesn't.
So that's why we multiply things. So
5 times 9.
So in this case, we have that, we're gonna have to multiply times 4.
I went right past it.
That's fine. Okay? So we have 1 over 12 minus, that would be 4 over 12. Right? 1 minus 4 would be negative 3 over 12. Which is, you can simplify that actually.
So
See, we
went
would
before,
borrow
right?
before that, we take from the 5, negative 4, and turn that into positive 13 over 12
Right.
minus 4, yeah, okay.
You can do that? You wanna do that again? Because you can, like, if you borrow a whole, that would be 12 over 12, right?
Yeah,
Right, you can do it again.
that's, I don't know if they do it like that though.
I don't know it that way.
She's saying that if she borrows 1 from here, this is basically 12.
So
over
you just
12,
add
right?
12 to the top, and then it's 13 minus 4,
Yeah, that's how we do it.
yeah.
Yeah?
But you do
Is
the
that how you do
fraction.
it?
That's not how I was taught to do it, but
Alright, let me do it their way,
Yeah.
and then I'll do it the other way by changing the two interpret fractions. Right, that's how you do it?
yeah.
Alright.
I just hate negative numbers.
Yeah, you're so positive. Alright, so we have 12 over 12, right? That's the one that we're gonna borrow from here.
Yeah.
So therefore this one will become a 4, right? Because we're borrowing from there. Alright. So that would be 13 over 12. Minus 1 over 3. Same thing, you have to have the same LCD.
Yeah.
Which is 4, you're gonna multiply times that. So this will become 13 over 12 minus 4 over 12. And that would just be 9 over 12. Right.
So
It's
it's
4, 9, 12.
4 and
4,
3
9 over 12, but you know that you can also simplify that. Over 12 by 3, you simplify that by 3.
3/4.
3/4. So your final
So it's
answer
4,
would
3, 4, 3, 4.
be, right? That's your way of doing it, now we can do it your way.
Like
Improper fraction way?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My question to you is this, before you do all that, could you not simplify it before doing the addition or the minusing,
No.
subtraction?
What are you?
It would be, and, well, start it all over again, because the way I was taught was the 12 times 9 plus 1, and then 3 times 4
Or
plus.
to do an improper fraction, you can do that in subtracting and adding. It's for multiplication.
You can do it with
It
improper
will come to the
fractions.
same answer.
Yeah, you just have to simplify at the end,
Right, you
Yeah.
have to go back. You want me to show it to you?
and turn it into a
Okay.
mixed
Well,
number again.
let me
That's
explain.
probably easier.
You did the subtraction, which I would have done,
That'd be
the 9
faster.
minus 4 is
Okay.
5.
Right,
So I
that's
would have
supposed to
did
be-
that, and then I would have pulled down the two fractions, and then simplified the two bottom numbers, and would have come out the same answer is what I'm asking, or would it be a different answer?
To what, improper fraction?
I think you're making it harder now. You would say that you will do it like this, right? The 1 over 12 and 1 over 3. That would be, you will have a negative number in there.
It'll be
That's
a
the
negative.
problem. Right, so then you will have to take that negative number from the whole, from the 12 over 12.
Okay.
So you can get confused with that. You
Alright.
can probably get a 1/4.
Well, they taught me different in school, we're talking about over
Yeah,
20
me
years
too.
ago, so.
But I think you feel more comfortable if we do it with improper fraction way. You want to change it to proper fraction because we can do that too. That's
Yeah, if you could show me that way,
Okay.
because this, I don't know, I don't get how you get the 12 hours, I'm
Alright.
pretty confused,
We can do it with that. All right.
please.
So let's change it to proper fractions. We know that we have to multiply that times that, right? And then add 1. So 9 times 12 would be 108. 108 plus
Sure.
1 would be 109.
109.
Right? That would be 109 over 12. Minus, so here we have 3 times 4, which is 12, but 1 over 3 is 13.
13 over 3?
13 over 3. Right? So again, we have to have the same LCD. Multiply times 1, multiply times 1. Okay, so we have 109 over 12. 109 over 12 minus 13 times 4 would be 52 over 12. Right? And then we have that minus that. 109 minus 12. Not 52. We have 109 minus 52. 9 minus 2 is 7. 10 minus 5 would be 57. So we have 57 over 12. Now we have to change it back to proper fraction, to
Mixed number.
A mixed number?
For divide division.
right. If you divide 57 by 12, you will have 4 holes, right? Plus 1 here. Alright, so this is 48. How many are you missing? 2 gets 57. Right. And then you can simplify that, and you will end up with the
With
same.
the 3/4, so it's just more work, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, that's what how they taught me in school, so.
Mhm.
And sometimes you get the answer.
Yeah. No, that's, I mean,
I was
that's just the
all
way I
right.
was taught, so it's like, you know, I guess it takes too long.
Mhm. Well, it's up to you now. You have the.
I just
Yeah,
don't-
they
I
take
just-
like the same, I feel like.
Yeah, the same amount of work, but I mean, the borrowing thing, I don't remember doing in
Mhm.
school, so that kind of throws me off a little bit, but, I mean, that one actually does look a little
Did you
easier,
get it?
but I'm just not comfortable with it.
Right, I.
You didn't get it?
Yeah, I'm
No,
a little uneasy on it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know, I'm just gonna say that you know that this one's actually 5, but since you borrowed 1, you
Right.
can 4. Okay. Should we probably pick that? Okay. So that would be number what 6.
What are we doing, what worksheet we doing?
The one that's due for today.
Oh.
I'm
My
actually
big-
doing
my
the
biggest
same
hang
one.
up is the different variables.
That's the next one.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that
We're
one
on
I
7,
just-
right?
Yeah.
So there's like
Solid
1/5
variables.
x.
I thought there would've been more people.
I'm not listening.
You can come up front and join the rest of the crowd if you want. Come a little closer.
She wants to stay there.
Try.
I think this one's the one that you're talking about. Solve. Number 5. Plus 4. Equals -20. Right? Is that not talk to you? Solve it for a variable. Okay. So how would you start?
Subtract 4.
You will start subtracting 4 from each side.
I'll
I'm
just let it go.
I'm just gonna rewrite it over here. You said we're gonna subtract 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Minus 4.
Both sides.
Minus 4. So over here you will have 1/5x. That would be 0. Negative
25.
25. Alright, what do you do next?
I did that.
This is division, so you're gonna multiply.
You're gonna multiply, right?
5/1.
5 over 1. Or just 5 because it's the same thing.
Okay.
Right, 5 over 1 is the same thing as 5.
Yeah.
If you do it to one side, you also have to do it to the other one, right?
Mhm.
So obviously those two cancel out. That's just x equals negative times a positive is a
Negative.
negative, and 25 times 5 would be
125.
I'm supposed to be dividing.
alright, so that would be the final answer for that. That's how you
Yeah, I got
solve.
that totally wrong.
So we go.
Alright, we
What
went
did I
back.
get?
You got 13. I'm just kidding. You got it right. You got it right.
I got up to the negative 21, right? That's about all I got.
Oh, yeah.
So right, that's where I went wrong.
Alright, so you're supposed to
Maybe you
subtract
didn't
4.
realize
Right,
So
Did
you
you
got
have
it.
to,
division?
you have to, okay, do you
Because
know
at
if you
first
do
I
the
had it
reciprocal?
wrong.
Do you know that? Cause that's one thing I'll like forget, mess up with.
Yeah, you always have to multiply times the reciprocal. If it was 2 over 5, then you will multiply times 5 over 2. Right? If it was a negative, you would also have to multiply times a negative.
I got up to the negative 21, that's as far as I got.
So in the beginning.
Okay, so we want to x. Oh, I got that right.
Okay? Alright, let's move to the next one. 8. Says- Let's move to 8%.
So do you know how, because I have it,
Alright,
do
you guys
you know
wanna
how
do
to
this?
email yourself? Do you wanna do
From
it?
decimal to percentage.
Because I have it on my phone, I just don't know how to email
And
it.
871%.
So you're moving it or multiplying by 100 or moving it over 2 spots?
Right. It's exactly the same thing. So if you multiply times 100, which is the correct form, right? You're gonna do that for all basically all of them. Right? So that times 100, you're gonna move 2 decimal places. just be 3%, same thing over here, 2 decimal places, 49%, 2 decimal places, and it would be 871%. That's it.
That part.
You know that if you're going to change from percentage to decimal, you just have to do the opposite. Move
Yeah.
3 to the left. Divided by 100. Okay?
Mine is the long equations with the multiple variables, the b, the y, the z. I get so discombobulated with that. That's the only one that I'm really struggling with, is trying to get that right answer.
Absolute values. Alright. Alright, what's the absolute value? What does it mean?
It's always positive.
It's always positive, right? Because the absolute value is basically telling you how many units away you're from zero.
Okay.
That's why it's always positive, because when you measure something, it's always with positive numbers. So we solve that. That would just be
23.
23. That minus is in between, so it would stay there. Absolute value negative 51.
51.
51.
Which is 51 equals what? You just have to
Negative
28.
20. Negative
22?
28.
20. Negative 20.
28.
negative 20. Because
Then
then
where I got 22 from.
Because you can just find the difference between those two. 51, well, minus 23. 11 minus 3. 3, 8. 4 minus 2 will be that. So it's negative.
It's negative.
Right, because we had to split it, right, to find the difference. The bigger number is negative, that's why the answer is negative.
yeah.
Alright, these are ones nice and simple. Okay, absolute value negative 34 is 34 plus.
Plus 18.
Yeah, so for that would be
52.
52. Right, that one's nice and simple. Okay, order of operations. I can erase it, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a negative in between, like 34 is a negative 34, when you break it down, it becomes a positive?
Yeah, because the 2 bars that's in between, that's absolute value. Okay.
That's the right answer.
It's only the number inside of the absolute value.
On this one, in between the 8 and the 2, what is that? Is that a multiplication on there, or is it, I could not.
That's,
tell.
yeah, it's supposed to be a
Yeah.
multiplication.
Okay, just check. I had to get a magnifying glass and look at it to make sure that it was a.
Yeah, they just don't put X in there because, you know, sometimes you can get it confused with solving fractions.
Okay, I got a little confused with that, but
Yeah.
figured it out with a magnifying glass. Unfortunately.
We're like, 8 little flour too.
I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Right.
is that a vision? Is that addition? Did she do it wrong?
You know, I probably, I think I did it. Did I do division? I thought it was a plus sign.
Okay, now just because we haven't done this in a while, I would do like 2 times 2 first. and
Yes.
replace- yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You would do the 2 square. That's
Yeah,
what-
yeah.
Mhm. Alright, so we're supposed to follow that little chart called pandas, where we do the parenthesis first, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Alright, so let's do the exponents first, which is this guy over here. Alright, so what we're gonna
So
do,
that's 4.
56 divided by 8 times
4
4
plus 19.
plus 19. Alright, what will you do next?
Division.
You can do the division, multiplication, right? That's nice. Alright, so if you do the division,
Oh, yeah, division first.
yeah, because these two are
Yeah.
interchangeable.
Yeah.
You can do those. Okay.
whichever is first.
Yep.
Alright, so
that's
56 will be 7. We have 7
Times 4
times 4
plus 90.
plus 19.
That's why I had it written like that.
Now we will do the multiplication, which is also
28
28
plus 90.
plus 90. And the answer will be, what's that?
What? 47, is that
Forty-seven.
what I have?
Right, 47.
If I didn't get that right because I thought this was a plus, did I get it right?
You got 37.
47?
37.
You probably just wrote it wrong.
There it is.
Sometimes I do that. I'll just-
I know-
No,
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I thought this was,
You thought it was a plus?
I think so, but it wouldn't be that, it wouldn't be less than that.
Yeah, it would have given you
I'll
9.
tell you why that.
Yeah, it would have given you like
Well, how I did it was I did it just like it, I did the division, I didn't even think about the exponent, I should have done the exponent first, but it came out to the same thing.
Yeah, 'cause you just did it later, or whatever.
Except at the bottom, I had a different answer, I forget what answer I had. I don't remember what answer I had, I already erased it, but I got to the 28, the 7 times 4 and plus 19, but I don't think I finished it. So now I see how.
So you can do these two at once and it wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't mess up the equation, because it would basically come out the same way.
Yeah.
Right. So you can take 2 steps at once in that scenario.
But when it's an exponent in a parentheses, you do it before you multiply, like in a parentheses or
You
something?
do the parentheses first, yes.
Yeah.
So if you have an addition before a parenthesis,
No, but if you have an exponent inside a parentheses,
See,
like
I
that,
would solve I'd be like 8, 3 plus 8.
it's not, that's an
I mean-
exponent.
Oh, yeah.
You will do the 3 plus 6.
Or yeah, 16, yeah,
And if you have something like this, maybe, which is a different case,
which is outside, then you do that
you
after.
will do the parentheses first,
Yeah.
it would be, okay.
Okay.
so you know what I did here? When I bring this down, I bring it down as a 9 instead of a 19.
That's what I did.
This week, when I messed up like that, it was just because that's like
So you're going to,
mistake.
I'll do it on Alex. Why do I have the wrong answer when I look down and I really have the right answer?
The last time I missed a question on a test, one question missing, because it was a 17 and I got 7. So that's
alright, word problem. What is 132 less than 61?
yeah, that's beyond me, I didn't
Really?
get that.
Is that
So you just
subtraction?
subtract.
Right,
And
because
add
it's saying, right, less
Less.
than, if it was
Yeah.
more than, then we would be an
We'd be
addition.
adding it, right?
But I didn't think it would be that easy, that's why. I thought of it, but I'm like, they wouldn't give it to me so easy, it must be
You
something
just
else.
subtract and then add
What?
a negative.
Yeah, you're subtracting 132 from this guy, right? So it's the same thing as saying this.
Yeah.
Alright, so we can find the difference. We do the subtraction. 61.
1,
And that would be 71, right?
Negative.
Bigger sign is negative, therefore it's gonna be a negative 71. Right. Oh, that's your answer.
So when you're doing that, like that, when you're minusing it, it's gonna come out negative? If you have.
No, it's gonna come out as positive, but you're only finding the difference between those two, right? Because that's how you read it, the
Yes,
difference
yeah.
between those two numbers.
Mhm.
Right, so the difference between these two numbers will be 71. Since the bigger number is negative, then that's why you have the negative 71 there.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I see how that is.
Okay, 11, 12. There's a 12 and 1.
but why wouldn't you write 32 minus 61?
Because it's
I
saying,
mean, 132.
if it was saying what is 61 less than 132, then
Then
you
it'd be
would do-
positive.
Right, it would be positive, right? Because they're saying this minus that.
Oh, I see how, okay, now I get it,
Mhm.
Now I get it.
And
Now,
all the-
once I walk out the door, let's see if it's still in my head for later tonight.
That's it.
My friend, he sent me this thing on Facebook, it's like, finish your homework, and there's like one of the Men in Black things that like clears your memory, it's like.
That's basically what it is for me. As soon as I walk out that doorway, it just goes,
Alright,
give me exponents, I'll take exponents any day.
So that,
I got that down.
right?
Had never had that before.
Did I do this right?
Alright, what is negative 57 decreased by negative 21?
I did not like that.
What do you
Decrease
guys-
is
It's
subtraction.
subtract.
Right, the same thing as saying lesson, right?
So that will be minus adding.
But don't you
Adding
add
minus,
two
yeah.
negatives?
So
Right.
that would
I think I
be
did
So
that.
if we put it in numbers, right, we will have
So
negative
that would be
57
negative 78.
decrease minus, and then we have a negative 21.
Oh, so that would
So
be
we add.
minus 10.
Minus 57.
Oh.
Two negatives
Plus.
becomes positive,
I did that one wrong, like an idiot.
right?
Yeah, so did I.
So we just have to find once again the difference between those two. Right? 7 minus 1 would be 6.
No, I had the right answer. Why am I confused?
That would be
I
36.
lost. Okay,
The bigger number is negative, therefore that's going to be a
rewrite that.
negative
Just write it
36.
up. Try to write it up later. Now, you put that in the parentheses for the simple fact of what?
That it was negative 21.
Oh, okay, just to,
Because many people get confused and use this negative. And that's
Oh,
just a
okay.
part of the problem. That's
gotcha.
what we're doing.
Okay, so then when you do that, then you can do the adding, the 57, negative 57 plus 21. So it would be negative 36, okay.
Right?
God, what we were gonna use earlier.
So that would be 12, 13, using the formula to, okay. 13. Alright, they're gonna say using the formula, they're gonna give you this formula. P equals 2L plus 2W. Find
W.
a W, right, if
T is equal to 42, and L is equal to 13.
alright, so we just gotta plug those values into the formula, right? We have the value of P,
42,
P will be 42. Alright, P will be 42. Equals, we have 2 times
13,
the length, which is 13, that's right. Plus 2W. And this is the guy that we have to solve for, right?
Can
Alright,
you
so
put that in parentheses,
what?
the W?
You don't need to.
But if it is, it's okay though?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Same thing, doesn't matter.
Alright.
Okay. So we have 42 equals, that would be 26, multiply times 2, and then you have 2W. What would be the next step?
subtract 26,
Subtract 26.
plus 5.
Right. Alright, so that obviously cancels out. 42 minus 26 would be
6.
6,
6.
1.
1. There you go, 16 equals 2W. Alright, now we're gonna
Divided by 2.
divide it by 2.
So that's, what am I doing?
So the value of A of W would be
8.
8.
Why am I erasing my answers? Need it, okay.
Should I give that? I think I can.
Hold on, do we have to show work on these to get credit?
Uh,
Okay, I didn't think so, okay, good.
That depends on your professor.
26.
It doesn't say on this one.
Yeah, no, this one is just today
Okay.
for tonight's test.
Yeah, which I'm gonna need.
Simplify. What happens when you have one fraction on top of another fraction?
Divide them,
That's division.
Right.
but you can do the ear thing too, right?
You keep it, flip
Keep
it,
it, switch it,
Keep
flip
switch
it.
it,
Change
flip
it
it.
to flip it. Right. Because basically what you have is the same thing as this. 4 divided by,
Multiply.
It's,
right?
but we can't write it like that.
Right, it's the same thing, right?
It's the same thing, okay.
Okay, so you can divide a fraction by another fraction, therefore, you're gonna keep this one, which is
Okay.
over 11,
Change it,
change that to a multiplication,
flip it.
and flip that one upside down.
And we can simplify that right now.
And you can simplify, or you can multiply 4 times 33, you
Yeah.
can simplify it, right? Alright, so let's start with the 4. simplify that by 4, becomes 1. That by 4 becomes 2. We can simplify this by 11.
1,
1,
3.
3. There you go. So now you just multiply. You basically have 1 over 1 times 3 halves. And that's just 3 over 2.
Did I get that?
Remember, you can simplify across, right? There's one and that one.
Yeah.
You can simplify even up and down, if that's the case.
But addition, you wanna wait till the end to simplify,
Right,
right?
right.
Okay.
But you can never simplify side by side.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say.
Sorry.
Okay? There you go.
I hate these ones.
Simplify.
I hate
You
these.
hate it?
I love that word.
No negative.
Yeah, I love it.
That's the attitude I love.
Change it. Easy to memorize that.
Now, is it a trick off though? No? Is it a trick she gave us? It did change it.
It helps it.
Alright, with that one. How will you start?
You start,
Multiplication.
So wait, this one.
adding the top, man.
We will have the negative 12. We will have plus, and that would be a negative 14.
Negative, yes, 14.
Okay. All over. We can do that too, right?
Yeah.
Right, 14 minus 27 would be?
Will be, minus 13.
Alright, so we took 2 steps up once. This 2 became that, this 2 became that. Okay? What happens when you have a positive and a negative?
Will be negative.
It would be a negative, right? So we have 2, negative 14. Alright, so we can do the top.
Negative 26
Negative 26
over negative 13.
over negative 13. Negative and negative cancels out, right? 26 divided by 13 would be?
2.
I did not simplify. Did I?
You did
Simplify.
simplify.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you had.
Okay.
See, we're lucky there. Alright, some more simplification.
I had a little problem with this.
Me too.
This one?
Me too, I had a question mark by it.
Okay, we can start one by one. We can switch that. We have 11. Oh, before that, what would be the first thing that you would do?
The parentheses.
The
Exponent.
exponent. No.
Right, 2 times 2.
It would be the parenthesis, right?
Yeah.
But then you have an exponent in there, so that's why
Inside,
we would do
yes,
it first.
solve that.
Right. So you would have 12 minus, and that would become,
That would be a minus 8.
that would be a minus
Yeah.
6. Okay,
Okay, that's where I
That's where
was
I was
confused.
yeah.
Am I keeping, is it a minus 8 minus, which become a plus?
Right, I get confused in that.
Okay, this is the thing. That negative is not included. I'm gonna do it on the
So
side.
you're doing minus 2, negative 2.
No.
No,
we're
it's
doing-
2.
I'll show you, I'll show you.
Because the 3 is not touching the,
Negative.
it's not, okay.
There is a difference if you have this, let's say negative 2 squared, than if you had this. Here, the negative is not included.
Yeah.
So that would just be, you do that first, which is a 4, and then you have a
Okay,
negative
so-
4, right?
That's where I was confused.
When it's included, negative 2 times negative 2 becomes positive.
Positive.
See the difference? This negative is not included. Therefore, it's just gonna stay there. Okay?
That's where I missed.
Alright, so what's the next thing that we're gonna do?
We're gonna, do the parentheses.
Do the parentheses. Now we can do the parentheses. So that would just be 4. Now we know that when we have a parenthesis and we have a number in front, there is a multiplication here.
That's where I'm messing up.
I messed up big time.
Yeah, because I forget whether or not if I bring down the parentheses around the answer. Cause I'll think like 12 minus 8, 4, I solved the parentheses, so I won't bring them down.
Right, you have to.
Okay.
And then you know that whenever you have a number in front of it, you're multiplying.
I did it right, except because of that minus there,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I missed it.
So it'd be 11 minus 20?
Right. This thing
Yeah.
will become 11 minus 20. Okay, and 11 minus 20 is obviously
9.
negative. Okay? Difference between those two is 9. The bigger number is negative, therefore it's going to be negative.
I got most of that last one.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, 16. Goldberg. Alright, so what do we do here?
Move the decimals to the left or divide it?
Divide by 100.
Yeah.
Divide by 100, that's the correct process. We're gonna divide all of them by 100. We know the decimal place is over here, and what's up there. Now, so we're gonna move it 2 decimal places to the left, right? So that would be, alright, if we move 2 decimal places here, we have to be careful because it's gonna become
0.02.
0.02, that's right. And this one will just be 0 point,
917. Oh, 0,
Zero.
917, yeah.
right? But
And we-
there's
Oh, yeah, did
And we have to do a 0 before the decimal to make it.
Yeah. Let me put the picture.
Did I get this?
Yeah, you got it.
I think I actually did my division. I feel safer like that.
Yeah, you got it.
I need to remember that for the test.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I feel like I'm gonna mess it up.
Now, if you don't
I
put
want
the
to
0
actually
from
do
the
the
decimal
division.
to 2,
Then you
still,
know that
would that be
Isn't
wrong?
that the
Oh,
way-
sure.
After later and so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
it's
would,
really cool.
it would still, it would be wrong or it would still be right?
It will be right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it will be.
That's how I did it.
Yeah, it's the same thing, 0.02.
Okay.
But you're supposed to write 0, just to make it look better, or proper.
That's how I had it 0,
Alright, so how do we do this?
72 or 100.
This
What were you gonna
count the decimal after the.
Right, you're gonna put the whole number, right? How many spaces do you run?
So
So that's why you have 2 zeros in there. 100. That would be the answer.
You can't simplify that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could.
if you can simplify, you should.
So we should simplify it.
but if it doesn't ask,
It has, it
it's
says,
it, okay.
Oh yeah, that's the second part, see? Simplify. So you can take half of each, maybe. That would be 36. That would be 15. You can again take the half of each. That would be 18. And this would be.
Right.
Alright, I think that's as far as you can you can simplify each one of them by 5. It will become 1/100, right? Next one, same thing, 39/100. Can you simplify that?
I don't think so.
So it's just gonna stay as 39/100. That's it. Alright, so we're supposed to write the fraction as a decimal. We have 3/10. We have 41/50.
We just divide, right?
Yeah, you will be doing the opposite of that. They're giving it to you in this way, now you have to end up over here. Alright, so we have, if we have 3 divided by 10, we know when we divide by 10, we're supposed to round decimal places to the left. Only one decimal place, right? Because you have this 1 0. So that would just be,
So that one's, yeah.
yeah, that would just
Or
0.3.
three.
How would you do that? Because you don't have the 10, or you don't have 100.
I did the division.
Yeah, 41 divided by 50,
The 50?
I think.
Because there is another, like, are you guys allowed to use a calculator? Or the proper way of doing this would be, this has to be either 10 or 100 or whatever, right?
That's what they were showing us online, but we never learned that in class.
So how will you divide 41 to 50?
And then I bow, I put a 0, and then bow a 0, so that make it
You add a decimal and bring out a 0.
yeah. So I change it to 410 divided by 50. That's what you did?
I don't remember.
It would be, like that, right?
With a 0, a
So
decimal,
0 over the 41.
you put a decimal over there, and
So you
then
can
you add
go-
a 0 on 41.
Right.
But it still doesn't go in. I don't know, I don't remember how it is.
No, on 41.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
right.
half
It's
of it still doesn't
41
go
goes into 50, right? Because when you put the decimal, you add 1 more 0.
Not there.
In
in the other one,
The divider.
in the,
there,
right there.
yes. Put the
No,
zero,
no, no, no,
zero
no.
there in there.
Erase that.
It was the 500, put the 0.
Yeah, you keep the
So it's
50,
50,
doesn't go into 41,
so
then
you
put a decimal, add a 0 to the
add a 0
41.
to the 41, so it's
How many times
441,
does 50 go in?
410 divided by 50, and it's 8.
Yeah,
So,
You guys do it differently.
yeah, 8,
what is the,
8 times 50,
is that what, that 400?
8 times 50,
8 times four,
Yeah, usually,
8 times 5 is 40, so it'll be 4.
Yeah, it'd be 400. So write the 8 on the
Eight.
other side of the decimal,
8.
here,
next to
Yeah.
it, and then 400 underneath that, underneath the 410,
yeah.
and then subtract them, you get
So
10,
it's three.
and then bring out another one,
Add another 0,
and then add 2,
and then 2.
and then that's
2
100,
times 5, 0, and 2 times 0, 0.
so it's 0.82.
I think that's what I have.
That's what I have.
yeah, that's supposed to be, yeah, so you can do it, yeah. Oh, do it, oh, that's good.
See that?
How do you do the division like that?
No, I've taken, oh, let's show you guys that.
He's like, I use a
Maybe you do it like
calculator.
I do. So I do.
So you turn the 50 into a 10, or what do you do?
I'll check.
Yeah.
Alright, because this is supposed to be either a 10 or 100, 1,000, whatever, right? So you will multiply top and bottom times 2.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Because I can
find the
become-
common denominator, I mean, give
No,
it
so you can turn this into 100.
to 100.
Right? Or you can divide this by 5 to make it a 10, but 5 doesn't go to
But that's only good if it's like an even number.
right? And
Or
then you
with a
will
zero.
have, you will have
There's your
It's the
answer.
same thing.
See, that's easy.
See, I'll take that.
No,
I'll
But
take,
you
I'll
can't do
take
that
that
for
one.
every, but you can't do that for everyone, can you?
You have special cases. for
Only the one that,
I don't think
But
they really give it to
typically,
you.
only the one that's
Okay.
end by zero, like 50, 20, 40, something like that.
Right, right. No, you have to end up with always 10, 100, 1,000 or whatever. So you
So
can
you
just
know
run
how
the
many-
decimal place, yeah.
yeah.
So you can just run the
I
decimal.
think I'll skip.
So if it's like, if it's like an even number, like 50, 40, 30, whatever, you can probably,
you just multiply.
yeah, okay.
Alright, so this one's, I guess, a little bit simpler than the,
But you have to know what times that gives you 100,
I know.
which
Yeah.
can take you forever.
alright, this one's nice and simple. They just multiply times 2.
0 point. Oh, wait, never mind.
Like it
Alright, so that would be 8 over 10.
8 over 10,
Mm-hmm. So
which is 0.8,
Yeah, we need,
0.
That one, okay, that one's easier. The just.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotta make sure.
It's just 0.29.
so basically when you got the 100 there, cause I'm going by what the number is on top,
Right.
tens, hundreds, and I'm just putting .29, like you said, and they're gonna say it's still right, but the correct way is to put the 0 and then the 29?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I have mine, I'm having a problem with converting
Me too,
15
for some
feet
reason.
by 2, it's like, mine,
Okay.
I don't know how to do this at all. I hate word problems and I hate
I hate
fractions.
me too.
Those
Can
are
I erase
two-
this?
Yeah,
So
yes.
Did I get
I hate,
this?
oh, and,
Yeah.
linear, equations, the x, the y, the z, the PDQ.
So we just multiply it?
Yeah, that's what I'm, now that he's writing it up there, I'm thinking.
No, you have to really write it into a fraction.
I know, but
Because
really
when I
it's just
try to,
multiplying.
no, when I try to do it without, if you don't write it, then you'll miss which one goes on top, which one, and then you might multiply the wrong,
And then you end up with the,
the wrong answer.
Maybe we can see easier examples of that. Those two are equivalent, right? 1 squared is the same, supposed to be the same as 144. Just we can use, let's say, hours. We can say 1 hour, right? It's the same as 60 minutes. Alright, so we can write this in 2 ways. We can say 1 hour over 60 minutes. Or you can say 60 minutes over 1 hour. Alright, you have to choose which one you're gonna pick depending on the kind of problems that they're asking you for. Because the one on the bottom is always gonna be the one that you're gonna end up canceling out. Okay?
so,
Alright,
okay,
so being that said,
so it'd be feet on the bottom.
right, so if you have that, convert 50. If you have 15 feet squared, you're gonna multiply, right, times something. Alright, and you have to end up with this guy over here, inches squared.
Yeah.
So, this is gonna be the one that has to cancel with this one, therefore,
So one from the bottom.
the square's gonna go on the bottom. This will be on top, obviously. And as you can see, feet squared with feet squared comes up, and you only have now inches squared, which is what they're asking you for.
And it'd be a 1 underneath the 15, right?
Right, yeah, over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 is the same as 15 over 1.
Yeah.
So now you can just multiply 15 times 144, right, and then you have the inches squared.
So why couldn't I just do 15 times 144 to begin with?
But you can run the-
Not all the
But then I
Because not all the time it's like that.
Right,
That's
sometimes
why-
you're gonna
Sometimes
have.
you're
I think
X,
there's a-
you're very,
Yeah, there's a next problem that it's
Yeah.
like that. You have to, if you don't set it up like that, you will miss.
But it helped when you just said, the one that you wanna change
Cancel,
is gonna be the bottom, cause you're starting with feet, so you're gonna wanna have that,
feet on top.
yeah.
Remember, you can just play with them. If you
Yeah.
can't cancel this, say if you would have put 144 on the bottom, you wouldn't be able to cancel that.
Yeah,
So that's the goal, the goal is to
That's-
cancel that unit
yeah, so that helped.
So the answer is 15.
times 144. We can do that. minus 15. Put it in carry 2.
Wait a minute.
720.
Yeah.
And then there's 149. 0, 6, 21, 69. Okay.
So that would be the answer?
So that would be the answer.
15 times.
You have to be careful with the unit measure too, because they're probably going to give you inches.
Yeah.
I got that, right?
It's inches square. There you go. You have to be careful with the unit measure too.
Gotta remember that. I remember a lot of things. I'm gonna put my happy cap on tonight.
When I walked into the class now, what did he say again?
And I get the test in front of me and I go, because I get freaked out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do my little meditation first before class, calm myself down and just take it. Just do the best I can.
Yeah, that's it.
There's another thing I don't understand the later. So let's see, let me see if I can work this out while he's working.
Okay, so we're supposed to convert liters into quarts. Alright, which one's gonna be the one that we're gonna cancel out?
The leaders.
The liters, right? So this one's gonna go on the bottom, right? So we have 23 liters. So that will be the ratio. Liters will be on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
1 liter. And then 1.06 quarts will be on top. Okay, cancel the liters. So we just have,
So it's 24.38.
is that it?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's what I got.
I got that too.
Okay, so we have.
Maybe it's proportions I hit. Lots.
And then we have quarts.
You multiply those two together, correct?
Alright, which one's gonna be the one that we're gonna be canceling out?
We're gonna cancel out ounces.
So that's gonna be the one that's gonna go
And the
on the bottom.
Yeah, that's the
6
example.
ounces. The 6 ounce we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we will have 1 pound on top.
That's how it's saying, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when you set it up, you realize which one you're gonna cancel.
So the ounces, we'll cancel with the ounces, right? We have the pounds left, which is what they're asking us for. Alright, so we can just multiply. And you were saying 48 is the same thing as 48 over 1. So we have
So it's
48.
48 over 16.
48 pounds, right?
So then you
Divide.
divide
48 divided by 16, just me.
31. Oh, I did that again.
And that would be answer.
3.
Pounds.
I got that. I think the easiest thing I do when I didn't get it.
That happens.
These ones I can't remember how to do, but I remember doing them and thinking they were easy earlier.
20?
Yeah. Let's just multiply it.
Right. It's just multiplication. I'm gonna take more writing the problem than actually doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 31, it was just my L that looked like a 1. I should just write it as pounds.
I don't think I got this one.
Did you do it? Yeah, you did. Oh, really just started. 1/8 of the students like chocolate ice cream. Of the 232 students at the party, how many like chocolate ice cream? Alright, so like you said, the only thing that we're gonna do is right.
Well, I did 232 equals 1/8 plus X.
That's for the other problems.
X, well, because we're looking for something, so I replaced that number by X.
They're just asking you 1/8.
Oh.
That's the 1/8 of the 232. So basically what they're asking you just is 1/8 of 232.
So complicated.
Will we write it out 232 over 1, just so I don't get like crazy in my head? Okay.
There you go. Obviously that's gonna be the same.
Yeah.
232 over 8, and now we can simplify that, right?
Oh, wow.
29 times.
29 times? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's
Is
good.
it?
Yeah.
29 times?
Alright. 2 and 72, 16 plus 7 is 23, 29 times.
Now, you know how I did that? I'm gonna explain how I did it. I actually multiplied the 8 through the 8 down 232, and that's how I got the 29. Yeah. it's
What'd you
really-
do?
The
You
8,
just divided it?
I just divided 8 into 232, and it came out to 29.
Yeah, see, I was wondering if you could do that, but I feel like I'm gonna mess myself up later if I do it.
I don't know, I just took a lucky stab at it.
Alright, I have to go to the bathroom.
I really
Go,
complicated
go, go,
this.
go.
Rounding is alright.
I know this is not, I don't know if this is, I'm sure this is gonna be in our final,
Uh-huh.
the linear, like the different, variables, like an X, Y, you know, type of thing. I was trying to find one to show you what I got wrong
Mhm.
on my last test. And that's something I really am having a really major issue on.
Alright, while you find out, I'm just gonna write the next problem down,
Okay.
and then we can go over it, so we'll also while we wait for the other group.
Trying to find one with different variables in it, because that's my,
Oh,
some of them are. Philly.
That was a simple question, I hope they messed up.
Right, can't find that one.
So how many?
Believe it, I can't find the one. Because I know on Alex,
Mm-hmm.
they, oh, here's one. Here's one that I got wrong. This is one I did really bad on, I'm very upset with myself. You know, when you get to a certain age, your brain doesn't want to retain any information anymore, not like when you're young like yourself.
It happens.
The brain just does not want to function, doesn't want to absorb. It takes a lot longer for us older people to
I guess we-
adjust.
Okay, rounding. It says, okay, the first one, you have to round that number over here to the nearest tens. Okay, so what number will that be? Where?
9 is 10.
That would be 10,
It
right?
would be 90,
It would be 9, so we'll just need
837, 594, 590.
5, 9. There you go.
Did I get this?
Good. Alright, the nearest 1,000 would be over here.
7.
Right, so that 7
Turn it to
depends on
8.
this 5, right?
Yeah,
So that's gonna change to an
838.
8. Right.
0, 0.
100,000. 100,000 would be over here.
Then 8.
So it would just be 8, right? Because that 3 is not gonna change it. We know that we only change it when the value before that one is less than 5.
Higher than
You know, we're gonna change it when it's 5 or higher.
Mhm.
If it's less than 5, we don't change
We
it.
leave it alone.
Right. Alright, so that would just be,
800,000.
alright. Alright, you got it? Alright, we're just gonna change the numbers now. Over here.
And they're gonna be thousands.
It is thousands, and this will be this. Alright, when you have that TH in the end of each word, you know it's, you're gonna have to run it after the decimal point, right?
Yeah.
100,000. Hundreds. Right, now the numbers in the main. 2,571.9.
Is that your phone?
Here's you.
Alright, so we're supposed to run it to the nearest 10,
Eight.
so it'll be 8, right? So that one's gonna change it to
29.
29.
that would be 2,571.9. Okay. The next one, the thousands. Which one is it?
Number 2.
Right.
So it'd be 3.
So that would be 3, right? So it would be 2,571.893. Alright, and the last one would be, we're running into the hundreds. So that would be what?
9.
9, right? Is that gonna change it?
No.
Nope, so it's just gonna stay there, right? Alright,
We have to remember area.
that's for rounding. Oh, one more page.
No? We have to remember area for tonight.
On this, they tell you to convert, but then give you the unit number.
I didn't even know that one yet. Is that the big one or the little one?
The big
There's another one. What is the big one? I don't know what I think.
Because then they don't give you the unit, the amount to look for, like, you know, how they
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
1 equals.
Mhm.
How did they expect you to do this?
Is that the one? Because on the test, she said. I remember in school they didn't give us that. They never
The
did.
unit number.
Yeah, they never did.
Since so long ago, I couldn't remember what I did.
8 times the number.
18 more, 2 times the number. So it's 8. Oh, yeah. 8 months. Annoying.
Alright, final one.
Is it 2x plus 18
Yeah, 18
equals what?
equals
Yeah.
8.
Alright, so anything more than 2 times the number is the same as 8 times the number. Okay. So, just put it in numbers. 18, it's just 18. More than, that means plus.
2 times x
2 times the number, whatever variable you want. That's just a dummy variable. Is the same as, that means equal.
8x.
8 times the same number, right? Okay.
Okay.
I did it backwards. I did 2x plus 18 equals 8x.
It doesn't matter.
It's the same, right? Oh, okay.
A plus B is the same as people say. Doesn't matter. Alright, so
Yes, got one right.
so let's move the axis to one side, right?
Mhm.
Let's move this one to the other side. So we will have a minus 2x over here, minus 2x over here. So we will have 18 equals 8x minus 2x would be 6x. We have to isolate this guy, right? So we're gonna divide it by,
By 6.
we're gonna divide it by 6. We do that to one side, we also do it to the other. 18 divided by 6 is just,
3.
and that would be divided by 2. You got it.
Unless I didn't finish it.
I always doubt myself when I was.
I know, but I like the multiple choice because then you can see only,
Is it multiple choice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Good thing. If you
Yeah.
don't know the answer, you can just guess it. You can take
Hopefully
a
guess
guess.
it right.
It can, yeah, it can be bad because then they trick you, they give you positive and negative.
Right, they could
You
trick
doubt
you
your,
too.
you doubt
If
yourself.
you doubt yourself on that, or if you don't simplify it right.
Right. But I thought I did worse in the last test, but I did alright.
Because I figure that that's really when I'm listening to the positive, negative.
Now, this one is find the area where it's angled.
Right.
Now,
Whatever I see when I go.
multiply that, right?
Right.
Length times width.
With length and width. Right, length is width. And you have to be a little careful on this one because they're gonna try to trick you. Alright, we know the formula for finding an area, right?
Length times width.
Length times the width. Alright, they're giving you everything there. They're saying finding the area of this guy. So area equals, the length would be 9 what?
9 inch.
9 inches.
9 inches, you got to put it there. And the width would be
7 inches.
7 inches. Alright, so 9 times 7 would just be 63.
Squared.
And then inches times
Squared.
inches would be inches squared.
Squared.
You have to put inches squared. Whenever you're talking about areas, it's always gonna be square. Always. Alright.
I got that one right.
Same problem, different numbers. Oh, actually no. Alright, so we got this one. Find the area of a triangle.
Base and height.
Please,
Base is 11 yards and height is 4 yards.
11 yards,
What is that one again?
and then the
4
height.
yards.
I remember that.
Height.
Area of a
4
triangle
yards.
is what?
Triangle
Base
is
times
base
height divided by two.
Now this one you would multiply it and then divide it by 2.
Right, formula.
Got that down. Thank
Base
you.
I just thought I
times
forgot, I said it out loud.
divided by 2.
I think the flashcard, like,
So I got
I got 22 years.
22 inches, 22 inch squared.
flashcard.
Yard squares.
Yard.
Alright,
Yard.
base.
Yeah, I did, I'm sorry, yard. Sorry,
I have
thank you. Thank you.
written down on my.
Yards. Height would be 4 yards. And then over 2. Right?
Yes.
We can multiply that 11 times 4, which is 44 yards. Right. And then divided by 2, that would be
Square.
square. Good. Save your pen. Alright.
Decimal.
Decimal, yes. Fun, fun, fun.
That is my cup of tea. I can do decimal.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Alright.
I hope. I just think of it as money.
Right. It's a good example.
and so you comfortable with this? Then maybe we should do something. What is the question? Because it's almost time.
It's for what? For what we're on now?
When adding the decimals, you line up the decimals and the same with subtraction, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now the multiplication
I
and the
don't understand.
division, you have to count
We should do
as your
proportion.
Can we skip all this? Because we kind of, all of us got this,
Okay.
and the proportion.
Portions?
I think what question is that?
I think that was the last one.
Okay.
Maybe not, I don't know. All I
Did
know
I have
is
this
that.
time in front of anything else?
Wait,
We
wait, wait,
have-
wait,
we
wait,
have
no, let's do
Yeah.
26.
We have half an hour. Yeah, because this is pretty much the same thing. It's the only difference is that we have decimals now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we-
we're pretty comfortable with the
Let's do
decimal.
26.
Comfortable with that?
The percent of 80 is equal to 16.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do 26, cause
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I have a, let's
I don't remember.
Alright, so instead of 25, is it?
And then before we end the session, can we do one of those equations that I was asking you
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Because that I need help with.
Oh, we have that on the next.
Yeah, you just have to do all of this because it's indeed.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so 25 is the same thing that we did before. For this one, I have a different way of doing it, so you're gonna tell me your way.
Well, if your way's easier.
I don't even
Think
remember,
easier.
I don't even remember how to do this, so,
Is equal.
and I need to know what's your tonight.
I think it's a division.
Right, people get confused if to multiply or to.
Yeah, I
I
get
think it's
get
a
it.
division, isn't it
I think-
80 into 16?
That would
Is that how
be-
you would do it?
Well, I actually, to label it out, so I don't get confused, I would do a little table. We have numbers, and we have percentages, right?
Mm-hmm.
Under percentages, I'm always gonna have 100, because there is always 100%, which is the total, right? So you're always gonna have that. Now, depending on what they're giving you, you're gonna have a value here, a value here, or a value here. Okay, so we're gonna put in, it says, what percent of 80 is equal to 16? So what percent of 80? What percent of this number? So that number is gonna be the total, right? So we're gonna put it side by side with the 100. What percent of 80
There we got it.
is equal to 16?
20%.
16 over here. You don't know what 60% of that, right?
No, for some reason I got 20%, I don't know why.
Six.
I don't know how I got that, I don't remember how I got that.
Alright.
Oh, I divided it, that's what it was.
Okay, so the only value that they're not giving you is this one, right? Because they're asking you what percent.
Yeah.
You don't have the percent over here. Alright, so the only thing you will do is take cross multiply
This is where we cross multiply.
and then divide it by that number.
What?
Whatever number is left off, whatever number is left off, that's the one that you're gonna
Can
divide
you
by.
convert that to a decimal and then do it?
Right,
Would
that's
that
what,
be easier?
that's what
Yeah.
they're teaching us to do,
Because
like,
because if you do it algebraically, you will have 16 over 80, right? And then multiply it times 100.
Is there
Wait a minute,
easier?
So this is the way that they teach it over here.
yeah.
And then you divide that by
Okay,
2.
so 16 divided by 80 is what?
No,
Right.
You have to use, isn't that like 0.2?
I got point 20, I don't know how I got that.
Yeah,
Then-
yeah, see, but it's
What
like
percent of 80?
0.20. It's the same thing as 0.2. What it is.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I
zeros,
did get
zeros
that.
after the decimal don't matter. So
Yeah.
those two are equivalent.
Oh, okay.
So that would be
So
0.2.
then you just switch that into a percentage?
That's only this part. 16 divided by 80 will give you that, both
Okay.
of them are the same, and then multiply it times 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you just turn it into a percentage.
Mhm.
You just
So-
move it, so it'd be like 20%?
Right. This is basically the same thing as that. Difference is that way here you can just label it and see what's going on. Right, which ones are the numbers,
That's-
which ones are percentages.
That's kind of what I need to do.
But if you're used to this, then you can do it too. You just divide and multiply times 100.
But let's see,
I don't like
let's
cross
say you,
multiplying, so-
you change the 80 into percentage, the
Well,
decimal.
16
This one?
goes twice.
The 80. So you
Right.
put point eight, point,
So, okay.
What
So
do you
this
do?
That's where you get point 2.
15%
That would be the
of
same as
20,
that.
120 is equal to,
0.2.
so it'd be 15 over 20, 120, I mean? No, that doesn't make any sense.
What would happen if you have 160? That would be 2, right?
Mhm.
But it's not, it's just 16. So that's why you run one decimal place.
no, I'm trying to do it like they showed on Alex, it's, they changed the 80
Mm-hmm.
into a percentage, like point 80.
Oh, so you were saying that,
See, there's so many different ways to do it, I get lost.
yeah, wait, say that again? Because
When
Alex
you
does it in a
change
different way.
Change 80 into a decimal.
This one?
And what?
Yeah?
Times 16 is what?
Oh, you guys use it that way too?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I have no
know.
I
idea.
don't know.
I don't.
Because this is the way that they teach you over here.
Yeah.
You have evasion and multiply times 100 together percentage. Let's keep moving on because we
You know,
have like half an
I
hour.
knew that this was the classroom. I couldn't
Yeah,
find
so it's
it.
15% of 120.
So, probably not.
It's like a V, it's like an A, B.
15% of 120 is equal to. Is equal to. I didn't write how I got that.
Alright, so how we do that?
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea.
Alright, let's,
Is that the division thing again?
well,
You
the,
have to switch it from a decimal to a, I don't know, just do it.
No, it's 15%,
Wait, oh, so we just go 120 times
you were
0.15.
saying that we're supposed to change the decimal, right?
That's
So
the
it's-
same thing and when you did the 16.
15% of 120, you just go
It's-
120 times 0.15.
Right,
So that one's easy.
but do you guys get how you get a 0.15?
Because you have to switch it to a decimal.
Right, because in reality, what's going on is this, you're multiplying 15 times the total, and then you're dividing it by 100.
See, that
What
one's
you're doing is 15 divided by 100 is,
0.15.
right, and that would be multiplied by 10.
But it's the same answer.
Yeah. But like those ones are easy, but the one underneath it, if they give me like what number, I forget how to write it out.
So you guys get this one?
So
that was
this is what percentage of 80 is equal 16. It's easier to do the board here. What you-
Yeah, so you can see what's going on. You don't know what 60% is. 80 is 100%. If we were gonna do this one, then it would be like that. Let's see. They're saying 15%, that's a percentage, right? So you're gonna put it over here, under the percentages. Of would be here. Of would be telling you what's the total. 120 would be here. So you don't know this value, right? So you can do is cross multiplication, which is what I have here, and then divide it by 100, which is the same thing that she's saying. So if you're not sure, maybe you can like write out another second other way of doing it. Maybe you can help you out, or if you're comfortable with that. Alright. Alright, how we do that?
I don't know.
Okay, so, alright, let's rely on the table.
And convert 18% into a decimal.
So we go 0.18.
Okay, you want, okay.
So 0.18 multiplied by 90.
That's what it is?
Let's see.
That's what it is for that one too?
0.18 multiplied times 90. Alright, let's see.
Is that right?
And would be here.
Because I think you can't do that for all of them.
No, that was gonna be a little bit different.
Yeah, it's only, that's only if it says like what percentage of a number, that's
Right.
like figuring out your tip, because I figure out my tips after work every day.
Alright,
That's why I know
let's
that
try to
one.
label it out. Let's see. 18%, 18 is over here. That's the percent.
Of what number?
Of what number? That's the total, right? We don't know what's total, so we don't know this value. Is equal to 90. Alright, we can multiply that.
It's not there. I don't know.
And then divided by 18. And that would give you the percent. Right?
You got 500, I don't know if that's right.
I got 90 over 18, I don't know why I got 90 over 18, I didn't put the 100.
You got a 90 over 18, but you have to multiply times 100. So you're trying to get a total.
I need to put that on here?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Right, 'cause
But
if
I
you
did
have-
that, I did 90 over 18, so I guess I can get partial credit on that. I did something right.
That's your professor's schools. Alright, so we just have to find that number. We have 9 divided by 18.
5,
That's not 5.
huh? I don't know how I got 5 then. Oh, I know what I did, never mind.
If it's
Don't pay
90,
attention to me.
if it was 90 over 18, that would be 5. You have 2 more zeros, so you just have 2 more zeros.
Alright, so it's 500.
It makes sense, right? Because if 400 is the total, 18% of that would be this, right? 7 plus 4 equals 4 times 3x plus 5.
So you
Right.
redistribute.
Right, you will do the parentheses first, right? But you can't mix a variable with a number, right? Same case over here, you can't mix them up, so you will leave them there. The next step will be to distribute it, right? Distribute this number in front to each one inside of the parentheses, right? So we have 2 times x, that would just be 2x, and then 2 times negative 7, negative 14, right? And we have a plus 4 right here, equals. Alright, we're going to distribute again. 12x. And that would be positive 20, right? Okay, you can simplify this right away. Right, those two. Negative 14 plus 4 would be negative 10 equals 12x plus 20. Alright, so now you have variables and you have numbers. You want to bring all the variables to one side and all the numbers to the other. Okay, so let's bring these variables to the right side. So we will have minus 2x, right? Minus 2x. So they can cancel this. We have negative 10 equals 12x minus 2x would just be 10x, and then we have a plus 20 there. Alright, so now we can bring this 20 to the other side, right? We cancel it out, minus 20, minus 20. So we will have over here negative 30 equals. Those 20s will cancel out. 10x. We're gonna divide by 10 each side. Cancels x equals negative 3. That's gonna be your answer.
See, what I did is, she said it's better to move the smaller numbers over. So I moved 10 over 20, which gave me plus 10.
Right, you can do that too.
Yeah, but I got a positive 3 then.
No, the problem with that, there's no problem, but it's just a different way of putting it. If you move the 10 over here, you will have positive 10.
Yeah.
But if you move the 12 over here, you will have 2 minus 12, which is negative 10. So you have negative 10, and then you have positive 30. See,
But
one
you
of
still
them.
wanna bring the littler x to the bigger x.
Yeah, because you always want your x to be positive, right? There's no problem if it's negative, you will just have to cancel it out. So you can do
Then I
your.
got the wrong answer. I
So
got
remember,
Alright,
I got negative 30.
Okay, so this is
I
a
have,
her way.
I have positive 3.
Alright, I gotta go to that part.
Alright, so this is what you do, right? You brought the 20 over, the 10 over? That's it, right?
I did 12x minus 2x equals 20 plus 10.
Alright, you took 2 steps at once.
Yeah.
That's fine. You said you were gonna bring this to the other side, right? 2x minus 12x would be negative 10x, right? Here you still have a negative 10. That cancels out, and that stays as a positive 10. That's a positive 20. You will bring this negative 10 to the other side as a plus 10, right? So you have negative 10x equals 30. You're gonna divide now by negative 10, negative 10. X would be 30 divided by negative 10.
I thought when you're doing the division, you don't bring the sign.
You have to, because otherwise you will end up with negative x. X has to be positive. You have to bring it on the x. So there are 2 ways of doing it. It doesn't matter as long as you keep
That's
the
why
right
I
sign.
messed up.
That's where you messed up because you got a positive 3. Just, that's okay. That's okay. You just have to be careful. Alright, this one's simpler.
Yeah.
Good. It's not- good.
That's what I think.
Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is bring the 9 over, right? Minus 9, minus 9. So we have 3x equals what?
Equals 9.
this was a problem, I brought the 9 as a negative 9 on the other side. That cancels out. So we have negative 12 minus 9. That would be the same as saying, the next step would be to
Get rid of
get rid of the 3 divided by 3, right? Because it's a multiplication.
Seven.
X would be
Negative 7.
negative 7, yes.
I got that one.
Negative 7. Okay. Alright, this one's
This one.
This one's really short.
pretty short, yes. So what are we supposed to do?
This one,
Divided by
so
negative
that's a,
9.
so that's a negative one in front of it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to get the x by itself, this guy by itself. What's happening to x is being multiplied by negative 9. So you're going to divide it by negative 9. So you can cancel it out completely. If you divide one side by negative 9, you also divide the other side. Right? So that cancels.
7, negative
X
7.
equals positive and negative, negative, and that would just be 7.
I don't know why I got it positive 7.
You forget the negatives.
Yeah, you're having trouble with your negatives. You just have to be careful there. Alright. Okay, so yeah, what are we gonna do?
Plus 11.
Plus 11.
Equals 7.
Alright, so we have 2x equals 10. We're gonna now
Divided by 2.
divide by 2. Divide by 2.
Positive 7.
X would be positive 7. Alright, this one. Alright. You can do two things. You can bring the axis to one side, to the left side, or you can bring the axis to the right side. It's up to you.
Let's do that, because that's what I've been doing.
Do you want to even them?
Yeah. Like,
Bringing the
Move
smaller
them
over
to
to
the-
the.
Yeah, do the
larger
3 and the
one.
5. So
Right, you
minus
wanna bring
3.
this 3 to the left?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because you want your x to be positive. Okay,
2x
so that would be 2x
plus 7.
equals negative 9. We're gonna bring this 7 to the other side, so negative 7. Right, so we have 2x equals, that would be
Negative 14.
negative
Something.
negative
16, whoops.
Negative 16, not 14. Now we're gonna divide by 2. So divided by x would be
Negative 8.
Yeah.
negative 8.
yeah, I have positive.
Yes, you have positive.
This one I have problems with. I don't know why.
But do you see your errors here? Why do you have positive, why do you have negative?
Because you're not moving it the way I move them around.
Well, you must
No,
like.
but as you saw, even if we do it your way, we'll still get the same answer.
That's because I set it up
Yeah.
well.
I get
it's
lost.
simple, But I swear I did it like that and I still got the wrong answer.
The x is on one side equals the amount on one side.
So isn't that what we did here? X on the left
So I
side?
was gonna do it.
No, because you're just doing, you're minusing it, you're
Mhm.
crossing it out, I don't do that. I do it afterwards. That's what I'm doing.
You're probably.
Like I will have, at the end I will have 5x
Okay.
minus 3x equals
Okay,
minus 9
right,
minus 7.
right. You're just taking 2 steps at one, that's one. Because what's 5x minus 3x?
2x.
2x, there you go. What's negative 9 minus 7? Negative 16, there you go.
You just have to follow, you might not be bringing down your negatives.
Right, you're probably pretty
I
good.
hate that.
Let me see.
All this messed up. See, I have 5x minus 3x equals 7 plus 9. That's what I have.
7 plus
Well,
9,
no,
oh, that's the problem,
That's
see?
the problem.
It's supposed to be a negative 9, and it's supposed to be a negative 7. Because that 9, you didn't move it. It's just gonna stay on the right side of the equal sign of the equation.
We'll do what we can.
So stay as a
We'll do our best.
Alright.
That's the only thing I can do, I'm getting everything I got here.
Yeah.
My brain is not a young brain that can absorb all this stuff in one shot in 6 weeks, there's just no way.
Alright, so we have 1 for x minus 8 equals 2, right?
Yes.
Alright, what's the first thing we're gonna do?
First
Get
thing
rid of
we're gonna
the-
do
1
is, what I got, how did I do this? I forgot how I did it.
Divide by 1, 4,
Eight.
1. Times
8
8, right,
Did I
8.
heard?
We're trying to isolate
8
this
over 8.
number.
Oh, yeah,
So we're gonna bring this negative 8 to the other side, so
the positive,
that's it. Alright, so we have,
Yeah, that's what I did.
positive 6.
so that would be 10.
Yes,
Oh,
I got that.
10 over, it should be 10 over 1.
Okay, same thing, 10.
10 over 1, and then we do the, keep it, flip it, change it, we do 4 over 1 by the 1 over 4.
Right, we're trying to cancel the 1 over 4, so we're gonna multiply it.
Right, 4 over 1.
Right, that's what we're doing, but we're gonna multiply this thing times 4 over 1, so we can cancel this to what?
And break down x, that's how we do it.
How we do it, cancel those two.
And we just break down the x, and there's equals 10, 10,
10, 4.
well, this is how I wrote it, I don't know, that's how I wrote it, 10 times 4
That's fine,
over 1.
that's fine.
And then I got 40 over 1, and then the answer's 40.
Right,
Yep.
4 over 1 is something.
Alright, let's do it.
Thank
like-
you.
Wait a minute, how did you guys get that?
Here, Mom.
Alright. Okay, we're gonna finish running time.
I have problems with these ones.
The two of them?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's like I didn't even have practice doing them, and then that's what we have our test on tonight.
Are you guys taking through 28?
Yeah.
Okay, second half, right?
Yeah, let's start after this.
Okay. It's gonna be fun.
Why is it way harder?
Huh?
Keep it, flip it, change it.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
didn't
Keep
do
it.
it.
Not really.
Well, not really.
Change it.
Not really.
Oh, did you make it? Oh, I know this one.
You
Cause
do?
I bake. I know this one. I think I know this one. I think.
Like I sit behind you.
I know this one.
I do, my mom would try to teach me this while baking, and I would just skip it, I'd estimate.
I think I got it. How many teaspoons of vanilla are needed in 5 cups of sugar
Okay, wait,
are
wait.
added?
To bake a cake, with 2 teaspoons of vanilla needed for 1 cup. Oh, so you just
Yeah.
multiply it?
Thank you.
Yeah, that one is
That's
easy.
10.
So I don't have a
10
problem with that one.
teaspoons.
Alright, let me finish it
Okay, you
up.
can finish it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do all of them.
That one I did a lickety split because I bake.
Yeah, that one's easy.
Do you get this one?
I think, did I have this done for me?
Maybe I'm just thinking I have problems with it.
What do you guys get?
I'm sorry?
What do you guys get?
10?
10. 10
Okay.
teaspoons.
Alright, she has
Yeah, I
that.
think I got that.
Yeah. Let's see, because it has a code.
Oh, so you see, the way I look at it, it's 1 cup of sugar,
Yeah.
and you got 5 cups.
What is that, a unit ratio, what is
It's
that,
times.
or is that not even a
So
ratio?
it's 5 times 2.
I don't even know.
10 teaspoons.
Yeah. For the chef, it should be an easy one.
Is the next one more algebra stuff?
I haven't looked at it yet.
No, I mean it's next class, or whatever.
Let's see, to bake a cake with 2 teaspoons of vanilla are needed for 1 cup of sugar. How many teaspoons of vanilla are needed if 5 cups of sugar are added? Yeah.
10 teaspoons, right?
So a car travels at 350 miles in 7 hours, so I just divide.
Let me see.
Yeah, you just divide it that way.
Yeah, that one's a division one.
Yeah.
You say you had trouble with this one?
No, I thought I was having problems with these ones.
Not anymore?
I just think it was different problems I'm remembering.
20. Okay.
Car travels 350 miles.
50?
350 miles in 7 hours. What is the rate of the car
Because you're recording.
in miles per hour?
What is the rate of the car?
Of the car in miles per hour.
Okay. So it says a car travels 350 miles in 7 hours. So it travels 350 miles in 7 hours. Right? It's a simple division.
Yeah, 15.
That's in miles per hour.
Yeah.
50 miles per hour. There you go.
Yeah, please.
One of them, you have multiple idea when you do that.
And I think
just gotta combine the like terms.
So,
That's my problem. I can't figure that one out. I
Okay.
always get it wrong, every test we've had so far.
Alright, the instruction says simplify the expression.
I just hope I can remember what to do in this test tonight.
And I have it written down in my book, I look at it, I read it, I look at it again, I try and do it, I get it wrong, I go back and look at it again. It's like it just doesn't want to absorb in my brain.
Alright, it's gonna get it right now. Alright, read instructions though, they're only telling you to simplify it by combining. We're not supposed to solve anything, because we don't have any equation sign. So we're just gonna combine like terms. Over here, we can start with the a's. We have an a right here,
Uh-huh.
we have another a over here, right? So
Okay.
we have negative 2a minus 8.
Okay,
That's
so
gonna be a total of?
you would add them? No,
Yes,
We
so
add
if you
them?
have negative 2 minus 8, that would be
so it'd be negative 10,
negative 10
A.
a. There you go. We're just gonna
So
rewrite
that's all
it.
that is?
Yeah, I used to have
kidding me?
problems, I used to have problems
Just
overthinking it too.
Wow.
Alright, now obviously we're gonna mix the
These.
the b's. So we have negative 10a. Okay. Negative 3b plus 5 would be
Negative 2? No,
negative 3 plus 5.
3 plus 5, negative 8.
Negative 3 plus 5. Negative 3 plus 5.
It's positive, 2.
Positive 2?
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
I'm
I
saying-
said 2, but I didn't say
Oh, you
whether
said
it's
negative.
negative, yeah,
Remember, negative 3 plus 5 is the same thing as saying 5 minus 3.
gotcha, okay.
And that would be a b. And then we just have a negative 4c. We're not gonna do anything there because there are no more c's.
Oh, that's all that was?
That's all
Really?
it was.
Oh, I see those letters and I go ballistic, I get a blank.
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't have any of this when I was in school. I was
Oh,
just
yeah?
getting taught algebra
Negative
when I got to
36.
high school.
You guys have a.
12.
For 12?
Yeah.
So we did,
All right, thank you so
we
much.
did,
No
we did
problem.
97
I was a little late coming in because I
That's
couldn't
fine.
find it. I went right past it.
That's
minus.
fine, don't worry about it.
And I know I wrote it down in my homework book.
Yeah?
And I'm looking for it, looking through pages, I'm like, I'm late, and I couldn't find it, I'm like, really? No, I right past you.
What are you guys gonna do now? Go to the lab for a while?
No, actually, I gotta go pick up the husband.
I live so far away, this is stupid.
Well, go to the lab then. Study a little bit more. Hi, thank you very much for your
No.
time.
And we still have to do the one online. the one
I just
that
hope we
did.
were good on our test tonight.
Yeah, we
The
will.
one online
What
was-
is it?
Oh, like a practice one? Yeah, thank you.
Oh, we
What's your test?
cannot have,
We have a
no
regular,
more time, right?
regular test tonight and our midterm on Wednesday.
Oh, it's the, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that one,
Which one?
this one.
Which one are you doing? Are we doing more?
Quart
You guys
and-
gotta, yeah, you can do more. You gotta get some
100 quart
minutes.
and 2 gallon, but they give you no unit, no number.
Is it?
Oh, quarts to gallons and they don't give you the,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go to the lab
Is that on
and
that one?
Yeah, you just need to know what's
Where's
coming
she
before
looking?
turning one
Is that the one,
about.
the
The
review?
numbers, it doesn't give you.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm gonna go to the lab and get it sure I have to.
I
Which
think I'm
one?
gonna go get the husband from work. And then go home,
Yeah, I
dinner, and then
this
come
one,
back.
and this is for the.
Test with, bring the cap on.
No, right, rational numbers. What are rational numbers?
Who up there?
What?
Rational numbers, what are they?
Ratio?
Ratio?
No, rational numbers.
What are those?
Rational numbers.
Numbers that are whole.
Oh, rational numbers?
Yes.
They are whole numbers, and numbers that can be stand up on their own.
To be honest, we were never even taught that, we only just taught square root, that was it. I don't know anything about this other stuff here, so I don't know. I have no idea.
You guys wanted to give a little interpret?
Little what?
Rational numbers are eventually gonna come to an end when you write them. Obviously 9 is just 9, right? It's just a number. 2.5 is a rational number because it just finishes it. It's 2.5. You can have 3.3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and keep going forever. It's the same as saying that, right?
Yeah.
Square root of 9, is that a rational number?
Yes,
What's the square root of 9?
3.
3. 3 is a rational number.
Okay,
If you have square root of 2,
yeah.
is that a rational number?
I forgot even how to do square roots.
Yeah.
No, because it's not a square.
It's not a right, because that one's not a perfect square. The
Yeah,
answer for that
okay.
Okay.
it's going to be 1 point blah blah blah.
Yeah.
blah, so it's not going to be a rational number. This guy over here, value,
No.
no, right? This 3.14, 50.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the difference between rational numbers and irrational numbers.
Okay.
So we're going to stop it basically.
I'll have to remember that. Did you remember that?
I vaguely remember that.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember.
Because that's what they were asking.
I know the square root, I remember seeing that and doing that, so. All right, ladies, I'll see you tonight, so we start, and thank you so much, sir, for your time.
No
Okay,
problem.
leaving?
Hopefully it'll sink in.
I'm gonna go to lab. I haven't even started this one.
No, because you see,